Hello everyone, this is Alessandra from Pick a Book, the library, and today I'm happy to introduce you to Nikki from Scottish Soul Sister. She's an amazing person who has turned her own experiences into a mission to help lots of families. After facing a postpartum depression, Nikki started helping other parents. She's trained in life coaching and now and known a lot about postnatal depression. She made an online guide called Stepping Into Parenthood and offers coaching sessions. So today we'll talk to her about her journey and the importance of routine in children's lives with a focus on reading, of course. So welcome, Nikki, and thank you to be my guest today.
Thank you for having me. I told you earlier when you invited me to do this, it was such an easy yes. I would love to have this conversation because it's something that's really important to me. So yeah.
Thank you. So Nikki, could you briefly share your personal journey and what transpired after the birth of your son?
Oh, after the birth of Archie, everything changed, right? That's what happens when we have these little people. So like you said, I had my own journey of postpartum depression, and after 18 months decided to use it and became a coach myself, because I understood that other families must be experiencing similar feelings and similar challenges. So Archie is now 6 years old, so we're in a completely different space now, but it's been an amazing journey. You know, I feel that I've learned so much. You know, every day is an education, right?
Yeah.
And learning how to navigate those challenging days for myself, you know. So this started as a personal thing. I got help to make myself feel better and feel well, but then it changed the trajectory of my personal life and my professional life. And now this is what I eat, sleep, breathe. If I was to lift the laptop and show you around this little office, there's paper everywhere, there's notes, because I'm so immersed in it. I absolutely love it because I love people. And I think that one of those things, like I say, it's the consistent learning. So it ties in beautifully with books. It ties in with reading and learning. And when I reflect back to my time when I was struggling with the postpartum depression, what I now understand is something that was missing for me was one of my own human needs, which is growth. I wasn't growing mentally because I stopped feeding my own brain.
Yeah.
I was so immersed in doing the practical things, you know, making sure Archie was eating and sleeping and changing him. I forgot to read for myself. I forgot to listen to music or podcasts that either educated me or just brought pleasure. And now it's so clear, but that is what I've based a lot of what I do on, are the principle that we have 6 human needs, and growth was one of them. And now I fully understand the impact that had on my own well-being, you know.
Yeah. So you made this online guide, Stepping Into Parenthood. So tell us what goals you want to achieve with it.
So the reason the course came around was when I started as a coach, the intention then was to speak to people, to have conversations and give people a safe space. That still applies. That's still part of what I do. But then I realized that for many people, they are not in a space where they feel they can reach out. We often say, just reach out, but we don't. I didn't, you know, for 18 months. So I thought, I need something. I want to create some kind of resource that means that people can do it from their own home with discretion if they do not feel that they're ready to talk, or perhaps they don't want to talk. We're not, you know, I talk enough for 6 people. not everyone wants to talk. And that was why we thought, okay. And I decided to create the course. The course is personalized. So you actually create it as you work through it, because it's not a one size fits all. You know, we all have different dynamics. We all have different personalities. So for me to say, do this, this, and this, doesn't mean it would work for you just because it worked for me. So the course is created as a personalized, self-paced, and I like saying that it's self-paced because in the wellness industry now, everything is time sensitive. You know, you must buy now to achieve this and complete within 12. I was so aware of not adding any more pressure or overwhelm to parents who are already feeling like that. So that's why it's a self-paced, you know, the price is $99 US. I have no intentions of raising that price, despite being told I should be charging more. I wanted to create accessible, affordable support that everyone could then utilize within their family unit.
Yeah. And tell me, during your work with families, what are the main challenges you faced in promoting a healthy and balanced routine?
I think everyone's so busy. You know, it's a sign of the times, isn't it? Everyone's busy, and based on your demographic, that has an impact too. So you and I are talking from Dubai right now, and it's a big energetic city. You know, there's very much a hustle culture, and it's difficult to not be impacted by that. So when it comes to the routines, and, you know, we also live in a digital age. We've all got phones in our hand now. So it's super easy to fall into that trap of scrolling and, you know, so for me, I like to think that I bring everything back to basics. So for example, my morning routine means that when I get up, the first thing I say to people is, don't lift your phone as soon as you open your eyes. And so many people, it's interesting how they go, oh yeah, I do that. You know, if I'm in a group situation and I say, okay, be honest, who lifts their phone as soon as they wake up? There's like 80% do this. So things like that, pulling it back to basics and starting your day differently, that helps the trajectory of how your day plays out. And routines and habits are something that I find easy because one of my main driving human needs is certainty. So I actually like being systematic, and I know that not everyone is like that. But when you've got children do actually benefit from, and I'm not saying it has to be written in blood, your routine, you know, but I do think to have some form of routine is good for them, because what you are doing is you are meeting their need for certainty. They can expect what's going to happen if they have a regular, you know, breakfast time, a regular bedtime. What are your little habits that surround that? And I think it does benefit children, you know. My son knows our little grooves. And of course, at the weekends or during holidays, now that he's older, now that he's 6, he gets to stay up 30 minutes later, you know. But even so, we still keep it within that peripheral. I know that some people let their kids up till 11 and 12 at night, but that wouldn't work for us because Archie's behaviours would then be impacted because he is a child and he does actually rely on these systems and these habits and routines that we've created.
Yeah, true. They need the routine, no way. And how do you assist the parents in creating and maintaining a routine that includes dedicated reading time?
The reading time is, you know, we just spoke about this before, that in the evening, it's actually one of the favourite parts of my day. People think that they're doing all this for the kids, and I'm sorry, but it's not all for them. It's for you too, because it's giving you a time. You know, if you scroll back on my Instagram, you will see times where I've said, this is like meditation, you know, whether it's building Lego with him or drawing, colouring, reading. something that you immerse in with your child, you create that connection, and it's good for you and your nervous system. So therefore, that's good for their nervous system. So, you know, we have every evening, we read every evening before he goes to sleep. We take turns in taking him to bed, and we always read a story. Now that he's getting older, he's reading himself. So he has books that he brings from the school library, and perhaps after school at maybe 4 or 5 o'clock before dinner, we'll sit and read one of his books. He'll read to us. We've actually found his reading is coming on even more so thanks to Spotify. He loves music, so he's creating his own playlists. So he's actually building this natural ability with reading because it's tied in with something that's enjoyable. And I think that's quite an important point to make, is that it has to be in the right environment. It has to be enjoyable. If you're trying to force your kid to sit down and read and they're not in that space, or you're not in that space, then you're going to make a negative association with it. But if you make it where it's a calming, it's an enjoyable thing, then it comes more naturally for everyone, you know. So I think that's the thing as well. It's not just sit down, read your book.
Yeah.
No one
It doesn't work.
Right? But when you go, okay, we've got 20 minutes. Do you want to have a look through that? And everyone, you know, I talk about this in relationships when I talk to couples. Excuse me, and I'll say, you know, are you guys having the conversation surrounding whatever the challenge may be? And you often find that people say, yeah, and I said, and I'm like, right, there we go. We've already got this, like, you know, hackles going up because you're attacking people as they walk in the door from work. Your environment, you know, you've got to have a calm space. You've got to be in a particular environment and mindset to have difficult conversations. So it's the same when it comes to getting the children, when you want them to do things or to be active in something, just shouting the odds at them, I don't think that works. I think it has to be that you work together with it, not just because you say so, you know. So that's, you know, and that's a personal thing. I never judge anyone's parenting because I'm still learning every day. But I find that the reading is an enjoyable thing for us.
I think the night time before to go to sleep, these 15 minutes are the best to share time with your children, because they will be also a good memory for you in the future. So
and you snuggle in.
Yeah.
You know, you snuggle in because obviously, you know, Archie's a 6-year-old boy. He doesn't stay still very long. So when I'm trying to get my hugs and kisses, it can be difficult. But when it's bedtime and we're snuggled in, then it's a more relaxed state. So I get snuggles then. It's lovely. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I understand very well. And finally, how can parents make sure that reading stays important for their kids, even when life gets busy and the routine change for you?
I think it's all about priorities, you know, because things do change. And we're always busy. There are always going to be a list of things that need your attention. So I think it's about prioritizing and creating boundaries and saying, you know, okay, this is non-negotiable. These moments, these times, they're not negotiable, you know. And we spoke earlier about people always saying they don't have time, and it's like, it's 15 minutes. Please look back at your day and become aware of what you're doing with your time, you know, and you will find that we all do it. We all waste time because we're scrolling online, or, you know, so make it a priority and set a boundary around that, because it is something that's important, and it does tap in to a few of these human needs that I talk about. You know, we don't always realize it. I didn't have any idea about these 6 human needs until I had Archie. So I was 41 at that time. And it has completely changed the game for me, how I approach everything in life. So making sure that we prioritise and being intentional with our time. You know, we've all got the same 24 hours and we all have different circumstances. So being intentional with whatever that means for you. But I would, you know, it's like carving out that time for reading, connecting with your kids. You'll never regret that.
No,
You'll never regret hanging out with your kids, right?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. So thank you, Nikki, for this interview. I hope our followers have benefited from it and can implement your tips to keep reading, a fundamental part of their daily routine. So take care and all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bye.